Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy New Year. Welcome back, my friends. It's Ms. Bland jumping on to do the video for January the 6th, 2021. Happy New Year. Welcome back. And we're just going to jump in and get started. We had a great session this morning in Zoom. So I hope you guys are doing great. It was great to see their faces, and I hope you guys are well. So make sure we start off by checking who's there. So make sure that after you watch this video, at the very end, it tells you the ways to let Ms. Bland know that you've seen the video and completed what you need to complete. So make sure that you do so. Virtual rules are a little different for your video. My biggest request is that you watch the whole thing and go ahead and knock your work out at one time. Trying to piece the videos together kind of gets a little tricky sometimes. So go ahead and do it that way. You're welcome to take snacks and breaks and pause as you need to, and get help from mom and dad if you get confused. As always, Ms. Bland is a text, email, and dojo away, so just let me know if I can help. We shared this morning just a little bit about our breaks, whether it was about Christmas break or memory, or kids just unmuted just to say hello. You get that same opportunity, and they did as well, because in your notebook on the first page, you're going to put today's date, and you're going to tell me about your break. I gave them the magic number of 5. 5 is the number of sentences that you need to tell me about your break. We talked this morning about capital letters for important things like Christmas and people's names and places that you may have gone over break. Then we also talked about those common nouns where we just write the words. We talked about punctuation being important because for the most part, you are going to be telling me about your break, which means you're going to use periods. There won't be a lot of questions asked, but you may show some excitement when you tell me about some of the awesome things you did. So the exclamation points are definitely welcome. Our first book for today is going to help us lead into our first activity. And the title of our book is Squirrel's New Year's Resolution. Now, if you've already done your seesaw, you've already heard the book Squirrel's New Year's Resolution. But if you have not, then it's here and we'll go over it together. If you've already done it with your seesaw work, you're welcome to fast forward this video. Oh no, lost it. I think I closed it after Zoom. Hang tight. Please make sure if you're going to be a video person for the year, especially if you know that you are, just to get that work in as quickly as you can every day so that Ms. Bland can mark your attendance. I don't want to mark you absent if you have done the video and the work. All right, our first story.
Squirrel's New Year's Resolution.
Here we go.
Written by Pat Miller. Illustrated by Kathy Ember. Squirrel pinned up her brand new Nut of the Month calendar. It's January 1st, the radio said. A great day to make a resolution. Make a resolution? Wondered Squirrel. How do you do that? Bear might know. She went to see Bear at the Lonewood Library. Happy New Year, he said. Same to you, Bear. Do you know how to make a resolution? Is it like making a snack? Bear laughed. Resolutions are more important than snacks. More important than snacks, said Squirrel. What is a resolution? A resolution is a promise you make to yourself to be better or to help others, Bear said. When we begin a new year, we make a fresh start. Wow, did you make a resolution? Asked Squirrel. I did, Bear answered. I resolved to teach others how to read. I'm going to teach Skunk as soon as she gets well. Oh no, Skunk is still sick, Squirrel thought, as she hurried to Skunk's house for a visit. She forgot all about making a resolution. Skunk was sick of being sick. I'm stuck in bed until Dr. Owl says I'm better, said Skunk. I would rather be learning to read. That's my New Year's resolution. Squirrel knew how to cheer up her friend. She hid at the foot of the bed. She popped up and shouted, "Boo!" Skunk giggled. Hide and skunk was her favorite game. Squirrel popped up again. "Boo!" And again, "Boo!" By now, Skunk was laughing hard. Just then, Dr. Owl came by. "Skunk, I can tell by your laughter that you are feeling much better," he said. "Now you can visit Bear. Just make sure you have a healthy lunch first." "Lunch," thought Squirrel. She headed toward the Hidey Hole Diner. Maybe someone there can help me with my resolution. On her way, she met Mole and Turtle. Mole was holding a map close to his nose. "What are you doing?" asked Squirrel. "Turtle and I resolved to plant a garden," said Mole. "But I can't find a good place to dig with all these trees." "Right here," said Squirrel. She dashed up an oak tree and looked down. She spied Wildcat Creek, and on its bank, a perfect place for a garden. Squirrel scampered down and led Mole and Turtle through the woods to the edge of the creek. She helped them stake out string for the borders of the garden. "Thanks, Squirrel. I will start digging right after lunch," said Mole. "Lunch," thought Squirrel as she rushed away. She still hadn't thought of a resolution. At the diner, Squirrel chose a stool next to Porcupine. He looked grumpy. "What's wrong?" asked Squirrel. "I resolved to be less grumpy. So I'm trying to laugh more, but I can't think of anything funny." "I can help you think of something funny, like, why did the squirrel run back and forth across the road?" "Well, I don't know. Why?" asked Porcupine. "Because she was nuts," laughed Squirrel. Porcupine laughed too. "I get it. That reminds me, what's striped and bouncy?" "Tell me," giggled Squirrel. "Skunk on a trampoline," said Porcupine. Squirrel laughed herself right off of the stool. Porcupine said, "That's a good one. I'd better write these down." Off he went to find paper and pencil. Squirrel felt left out. Porcupine has a resolution. So do Bear and Skunk and Mole and Turtle, she thought. I'm the only animal in the forest who hasn't made a New Year's resolution. Rabbit came to take Squirrel's order. "Would you like to try my New Year's special?" asked Rabbit. "Sure," said Squirrel. "Maybe it will help me make a resolution. I wish I knew how." Think of a way to improve yourself, or a way to use what you're good at to help others, said Rabbit. Squirrel ate her lunch special and thought hard. Just then, Skunk came in. "I need a healthy lunch. Thanks to Squirrel, I'm feeling better." "Sit with me, Skunk," Bear called. "I see you brought our first book." The Turtle and Mole came in next. "What do you have for two thirsty animals who just started a garden?" said Mole. "Squirrel found a terrific place for it," said Turtle. Porcupine hurried in. "Do you know why Bear said, 'Caw, caw'?" Before anyone could answer, Porcupine said, He was learning another language. All the animals laughed. I didn't know you were so funny, said Mole. Me either, said Porcupine. Squirrel got me started. Rabbit said to Squirrel, you're doing a good job on your resolution. Well, I didn't know I had one, said Squirrel. Your actions are better than words. It looks like you resolved to help someone every day, said Rabbit. Really? Asked Squirrel. I did it? I made my very first resolution. Hooray for Squirrel! Shouted all the animals. It was going to be a very happy new year.
So Squirrel had a chance to make a New Year's resolution, which is really just a chance to set new goals for yourself. So if you'll look inside your packet on the back of the cover page, there's a goal sheet. And what we did this morning was talk about the 3-2-1, and I gave the boys and girls a few minutes to fill it in. I will do the same. So number 3 places you would like to go. And I told the guys this morning, you can choose any 3 places you want. It can be places that are nearby. It can be places that are far away. It can be any kind of place you want to go. You want to go to Alaska and hang out with the penguins? Go to Alaska. You choose your 3 places. Number 2 is goals I want to accomplish this year. What's 2 things you want to be better at? What's something you want to improve upon? I think it was Skunk in our story that wanted to learn to read. Maybe you already know how to read, but you want to learn how to read better. That's always a good thing to do too. And number one says something I want to stop doing. Maybe you're being worrisome to your sister. Heaven forbid you're being worrisome to mom or dad. But maybe, just maybe, you don't mean to be, but it's just what's happening. So we want to know one thing that you want to stop doing. Ms. Bland said she was going to stop procrastinating. Procrastinating means that I wait till the last minute to do something. I have all day to do it, but I like to start stuff late at night. That's procrastinating. So that's one of mine. But you choose 3 places you would like to go, 2 goals that you would like to accomplish, and then choose one thing you're going to stop doing. Pause here to complete. All right, welcome back. Let's keep going. Ms. Vester's SEL lesson, for today for week 20 of Monday, January the 6th, says listening is a 2-way street. And our lesson objective is to teach children the importance of following instructions. So, Ms. Vester prepares these slides for us just to give us some quick and simple reminders about things that can make us better, not just for school, but even sometimes at home. And following instructions is one of those things. It's something that we need to do at home and we need to do at school. So it's not just in one place, it's in both. We talked even today in our Zoom this morning about following instructions as far as mom and dad driving down the road. And right now we even have instructions on which way to go in the grocery store. So because of COVID. So instructions make a huge part of what we do. So it says following instructions. Why is it important to follow instructions? What would happen if people didn't follow instructions? We'd have lots of chaos. When you follow instructions, life goes more smoothly. If everyone in this group did only what they wanted to, it would be hard for us to accomplish our goals. So this morning, my example was if everybody came to Zoom and started singing their favorite song at the same time, would we ever finish our lesson? Heavens no, because everybody be singing their favorite song and no one would be able to hear. When one person doesn't listen, the whole group can be affected. When everyone works to complete tasks together, there are usually good feelings in the group. And we always want to keep our good feelings in our class because we are a group, we are a family. There are 5 main steps to following instructions. Number 1 is to look. Look at the speaker, look at the person that's talking. Number 2 is to listen and listen carefully. Number 3 is to think. Think about what the speaker is saying. Number 4 is to ask. Ask questions if you need to. And number 5 is to follow. Follow all the instructions that you're given to the best of your ability. That's important too. So Ms. Vester wants us to work on following instructions. So my charge to you today is that you will follow all the instructions that someone gives you today to the best of your ability. Make me proud. If you need to stretch, you may take a pause break here before we jump into our story for the day. All right, welcome back. Our story for today is called Sneezy the Snowman. In your packet, you will see that we're going to start on the work that has Wednesday written up at the top after we complete the story. So if you want to go ahead and turn your packet to that page that has Wednesday up at the top, that's where we'll be beginning when the video is over. Let's go.
Welcome to Children's Books, read aloud by Happy Cultivated. Sneezy the Snowman by Maureen Wright, illustrated by Stephen Gilpin. Click that subscribe button for more children's books. Sneezy the Snowman shivered. Brr, it's cold out here, that's for sure. I need a drink to warm me up. So, he drank cocoa from a cup. He said with a smile, I like this a lot. And then, right there, believe it or not, he melted from drinking something too hot. The children cried out, what should we do? A voice from the puddle said, make me brand new. They rebuilt Sneezy as snowflakes flew. A cold winter wind swirled and blew. The snowman sneezed a gigantic achoo! I'm sneezing and freezing and shivering too. A little girl said, then let's share. I have something you can wear. Here's my hat to put on your head. You look awesome, the children said. The snowman blinked his coal black eyes. The stocking cap was a nice surprise. But Sneezy the Snowman shivered. Brr! It's cold out here, that's for sure. I am freezing every minute. I'll find a hot tub and sit right in it. He found one and smiled. I like this a lot. And then, right there, believe it or not, he melted from sitting in water too hot. The children cried out, what should we do? A voice from the hot tub said, make me brand new. They rebuilt Sneezy as snowflakes flew. A cold winter wind swirled and blew. The snowman sneezed a gigantic achoo! I'm sneezing and freezing and shivering too. A little boy said, then let's share. I have something you can wear. Here's my scarf that's red and blue. I think it would look great on you. The snowman blinked his coal black eyes. The colorful scarf was a nice surprise. It went very well with the long pink hat. The children all said, how about that? But Sneezy the Snowman shivered. Brr! It's cold out here, that's for sure. I need to feel some warmth on me. There's a campfire by that tree. He said with a smile, I like this a lot. And then, right there, believe it or not, he melted from standing beside something hot. The children cried out, what should we do? A voice from the puddle said, make me brand new. They rebuilt Sneezy as snowflakes flew. A cold winter wind swirled and blew. The snowman sneezed a gigantic achoo! I'm sneezing and freezing and shivering too. A little girl said, then let's share. I have something you can wear. Here's my coat, the perfect fit. I know that you'll look good in it. The snowman blinked his coal-black eyes. The bright orange coat was a nice surprise. It went very well with the scarf and hat. The children all said, "How about that?" But Sneezy said, "Whew, I'm way too hot. I'll take off all the new clothes I've got." The children yelled, "No, that's not the way. Listen to what we have to say. Buy something cold at the ice cream store. Have 2 scoops, or 3, or 4. Sneezy ate ice cream 7 scoops high. "This is great," the snowman cried. "I'm not too cold and I'm not too hot, and I'm wearing clothes I like a lot." Then, after eating every bite, he said, "At last, I feel just right."
Thanks for reading with Happy Cultivated.
All right, that's our story for today, guys. We're not going to start reading Wonders until Monday. So every day this week we'll have a new story. So let's talk about those 5W questions. Who, what, when, where, and how. We're going to use Sneezy the Snowman to work on those 5W questions. So let's look at them. Your page should look just like mine. Find that page in your packet. And it says, listen to these questions and answer choices about the story. Sneezy the Snowman. Circle the best answer. And these deal with those who, what, when, where, and why. So number 1, who is the main character in the story? Sleepy the Bear, Sneezy the Snowman, Pete the Penguin, or Sam the Seal? Number 2 is a what question. What did the main character drink in the story? Number 3 is also a what question. What happened to the character when he drank it? He froze, he got sick, he coughed, or he melted. Number 4, what did the main character climb into so he could warm up? Hot tub, pool, bathtub, blanket. Numbers 5 through the bonus question are up to you. Make sure you complete them. Pause here to complete or complete on the end. Next, we're going to talk about sequencing. Turn the page in your packet. Sequencing is putting things in order in which they happen. We like to use transitions or keywords to help us. Words like first, next, then, last. Those words help us when we talk about sequencing, and our minions stop by just to remind us. So we have now Sneezy the Snowman. Your page, next page, should look like mine. Ms. Bland talked this morning with the boys and girls about being able to do 2 parts on this worksheet. You are going to give me first a picture, and then you're going to give me your sentence that goes with it. So as an example, Ms. Bland gave you some very basic pictures. So I started off with, of course, my mug of hot cocoa because Sneezy wanted to get warm. So first he drank some hot cocoa. You may start off your first with the very first thing that happened was when he got his scarf and hat. So you could back up there if you choose. Then he got in that hot tub. Bad idea. But next, he got a beautiful orange coat from the little girl. And last, those 7 scoops of ice cream made him feel a whole lot cooler. So on the other side, where my words go, I'm going to write sentences to go with my pictures. There's about 3 lines for each picture, and that's enough for one really good 2nd grade sentence that tells me about your picture and also sequences the story of Sneezy the Snowman. Pause here to complete or complete on the end. The next page is 2 open-ended questions. You are to answer each question to the best of your ability, giving your opinion. The first one says, what would you give Sneezy to help him warm up? What would you give him? What would be your choice? You are to write the sentence that's in red and give me a picture of the thing that you chose. Lots of kids this morning chose mittens and gloves. Some of them chose boots. But what would you give him? Somebody said Starbucks. The second one is very similar to the first question, but it changes just a little. What would you do to, I changed that blue. Make sure you change yours. What would you do to Sneezy to help him warm up? What would you do to help him warm up? What would you do? And you're welcome to draw a picture at the top there as well. Pause here to complete or complete on the end. So then we talk about our story summary. A summary is sort of like a retell of a story. It tells me everything that was important. It can't tell me everything that happened, but it gives me the highlights. It gives me the big stuff. So somebody, who was my character? My character in the story was Sneezy. Sneezy was my character. And what did he want? He wanted to get warm. He was tired of being cold. He wanted to be warm. But every time he got warm, he melted because he was a what? A snowman. Definitely makes the genre of this story fiction. So he finally got warm, but then he got too warm. But to cool down instead of melting, he ate 7 scoops of ice cream. The second side said a snowman should never. What is something a snowman should never do? And then we drew a cute little snowman up at the top. Pause here to complete or complete on the end. The next assignment, we're going to work on fluency. There's 3 kinds of readers that we see mostly in 2nd grade. We've got our robot readers, those that like to read and it sounds like a robot. Then we have our speed demons. We read really fast and everything. We read, we say like this and explain us and know exactly what we're saying, but we get it out really fast because we just want to get it done. And once we get it done, we can say we're finished. But most of the time, our speed demon readers don't always know what they read because they read it too fast. And then we have our actors. We have those that they're paying attention to all of the words and all of the sounds, and everything sounds beautifully. Ms. Bland is not expecting a room full of actors either, but I'm expecting is for your fluency to be as fluent as the way you talk, for your reading to be as fluent as the way you talk. That's what we're striving for. That's one of our goals for 2021. We don't want you to read like the robot. We want your fluency to be solid. So what we did was we drew 2 blue boxes down at the bottom of our passage, and we silently read the passage 2 times. Do that. Once you finish reading the passage 2 times, you are going to use a pencil, a highlighter, crayons to do the color coding for questions 1 and 2 using text evidence from our story. We talk about the text evidence is going back in our story and finding the specific answer to the question that is asked of us. And then number 3 is about you. It's a text to self question, and it asks you about a tradition in your family. So you may pause here to complete, or you may come back and complete on the end. If you need a small break, you may take one here before we go over our math pages. Math today is review. It will not take us very long, but I know some people need to stretch. Pause here if you're one of those folks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's math time. Math for today, tomorrow, and Friday will be review as we jump into Module 4 again on Monday. Here we go. So for place value, we've learned that place value, of course, started with tens and ones, then we added our hundreds, and even this year we will go on to add our thousands. And we talk about being able to represent those with each of the different models and each of the different types as we draw them out, use them for addition, use them for subtraction, use them to model and show numbers. We use them in math, and they're important. So we're going to talk today on the first page of your packet for math about the hundreds place. And for the hundreds place of each of these numbers, you are going to follow the color code to color them the correct color. You may pause here to complete or complete on the end. The second page is word problems. For your word problems, Ms. Bland's only request is that you show me your thinking. You may show me your thinking with a picture. You may show me your thinking with arrow method. You may show me your picture with place value blocks, sticks, and balls. You may show me your thinking. Each box needs to have an equation. I need to see the equation. You cannot just write one giant number in the box and say that is my answer. So hopefully those that don't watch my video and try to skip by it, that's not going to help them. But I'm helping you. So I need to see what you think. When you get in third, fourth, and fifth grade, they're going to hand you a paper back one day and say, show your work. The reason we want you to show your work is because if you can show us what you are thinking, sometimes the whole problem isn't wrong. There's a piece of it that we can actually go back and fix. The next page of your packet deals with ordering numbers from least to greatest or smallest to largest, as it says on your paper. So for the first four, I did do them. I want you to try them and then check your answers against my own. Then you will complete the second four by yourself. Pause here to complete or complete on the end. Rules for adding. We're going to be working on adding this week in review as we prepare for being able to do a new extension of adding in the weeks to come. So 3 quick reminders: start in the ones place, stay neat, and always check your work. So for the top part, for the first 2 rows, Ms. Blaine just wanted to remind you of a few things. We start in that ones place. 2 plus 0 for the first question is 2, and that 2 should be neat and written directly under the sum of what's being asked. And the same for 2, 5 plus 2, which was 7. Numbers are sitting up straight, they are not laying down, and they are not too spaced out, but they're also not on top of each other. So take a moment to complete the first 2 rows, then come back and check your work against mine. If you have not found any struggles or true concerns, then you may continue to finish the page. If you run into errors more than 5 at the time, then please let mom or dad know so that they can let me know and we can work out a new plan. We don't want anybody to not have the correct way to get our basic addition before we start regrouping. And the next page, and our last one actually, we talk about place value, and I apologize to the boys and girls that it's a little hard to do those high numbers because the hundreds are super, super close together. So just take your time, count real carefully. I even told them they could put little dots out to the side if you needed to as you count to find your answers, and the answers do go inside of the box. So I'm done. It's your turn to show what you know. You're going to go back through your packet if you did not pause your video as we went through, and you are going to complete all of the items for today. If you have questions, this was my Zoom presentation. If you have questions, you are always welcome to contact Ms. Blaine at any time and let me know your questions, and I will help you the best way I know how. So when Monday's packet is complete, that's all, folks? Not quite. You still have your Bailey specials. If you've not done your special for today, please do. You also have Seesaw assignments. You have 3 of them for today. And you also have the chance to read an epic if you have time. Remember, the Bailey specials are found at baileyspecials.weebly.com, and they're presented to you by Ms. Reason, Ms. Ellington, Mr. D, and Ms. Tillman as they have you working through. Today would be Monday, which would be our media day. If you want to stay on schedule with the same block as if we were in school, today would be media. So for your attendance, those of you that are watching this video, you have some options. You can send me a picture of one of these pages completed. You can send me one of the story question pages or on one of the math sheets. You can email me the picture, send it in Dojo, or send it in text message. You need to make sure your name's on it. You can let me know if you're having trouble with this. And of course, always, if you complete an assignment inside of Seesaw, then we are covered for the day. Your packet still needs to have everything done. This is just for attendance purposes. If I don't receive these items, then of course you will be marked absent for today. Talk about a great job. You guys were amazing. I hope you had a great day. I hope that you didn't find your work for today to be too much since it's your first day back as we jump back into the swing of things. So last and foremost, I sent this out to moms and dads in Dojo, but I will do it as a quick reminder to you guys that it's Wednesday. Your must-dos. You must do your writing in your notebook. Please put the date. Please write the title. Ms. Blaine spelled title. I said that out. Make sure you put the title, at least 5 sentences, and more, of course, are welcome. You have packet pages for the day, and you have 3 seesaw assignments. You have a New Year's resolution page from the squirrel story, and you have 2 Sneezy the Snowman activities. So writing, packets, seesaw. Your may-dos, of course, are epic, and self-selected reading means books that you have at home that you may have gotten from Book Fair or Walmart or Dollar Tree or wherever. You're welcome to read one of those. So air hugs and kisses and all my good wishes. I hope that you have a fabulous, and I do mean fabulous, afternoon. If you need something, contact Miss Bland. She will be more than happy to help you. That's me. I'd be more than happy to help you any way I can. We will be Zooming in the morning at 8:30. If your schedule allows to join us at 8:30, we will see you there. If your schedule does not allow you to join us, the video should be up tomorrow around 12. I'll try for 12 most days to get it up for you to do and complete. Have a fabulous afternoon. Be amazing. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Love you dearly.